these scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
Alright, what is up YouTube? This is Adrian, giving you guys one of my deck profiles. I'm giving you guys my Skull Servants. I don't really play this deck as often, but it's like one of my fun decks. It's considered a budget deck. You can take it to locals. You're just gonna beat the crap out of your opponent. It's really good. It's more of one of those decks that use the graveyard. So this is gonna be one of those decks that if they stop you from using that graveyard with that new hand trap coming out, this deck is gonna be gone. But hey, it's a fun deck. It's budget. You're gonna like it. All right, guys, let's get right into the deck profile. All right. So for monsters, I obviously play this bad boy, Skull Servant. Why? Because he's a vanilla, but he's one of your bread and butters you need for this deck. So Skull Servants, right? All right. And then we got the other guy, King of the Skull Servants. What his effect is, his original attack becomes the amount of Skull Servants you have in your graveyard times 1,000, and this bad boy can go all the way up to 17,000. So I play 3. You always have to play 3 of these guys. He's really, really good. And most of all of them, they're all Skull Servants. And this deck, like I said, it just sends everything into the graveyard. So there's 3 of the... This is your boss monster, so yeah. 3 White Mare. This is almost like a hand trap in a way. If you have any banished Skull Servants, like Lady in White or King of the Skull Servant, you just discard this card from your hand, send it to the graveyard. And then you get to either special summon or return it from the banish zone back into the graveyard. So this is a really good card. Like if they banish it with Trickster Reincarnation, you could just bam, return it back. Then I play these White Princess. The only problem is about White Princess that if they have a deck that deals around dark and etc., you know what I mean. This attribute is light, so this is the only thing that's gonna do damage. But there's a good thing about this card. The good thing about this card is when she is normal summoned, you can send 1 White Prince, which I'll get into right now, from the deck to the graveyard. And during either player's turn, you can send this from your hand or field to the graveyard and have those monsters lose 300 attack times their rank and level. Yeah, it's good. And when she's in the graveyard, she's considered a Skull Servant. So everything in this deck, whenever it's in the graveyard, anything that says white on it, is going to be really, really good. It helps out King of the Skull Servant. Then right here we got White Prince. So this is the cool thing. When he is sent from the field to the when he is sent to the graveyard, not from the field to the graveyard. My bad. When he is sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 king. You can send 1 Lady in White and 1 my bad. 1 Lady in White and 1 Skull Servant. And yes, this is just your proper way to send a lot of stuff into the graveyard. So this card is just gonna help make your deck even stronger. Your King of the Skull Servant stronger. And oh my bad, I forgot one little thing of important. It's my deck and I can't even really explain it. So what he does is you can banish this card and 2 other Skull Servants from your graveyard, and you can special summon 1 King of the Skull Servant, which is really, really good. That's really effective. And if you have White Mare, then hey, you could just return Lady in White back. I'll explain what Lady in White does right now. Lady in White. What this card is, face up level 1 or lower zombie monsters, aka King of the Skull Servants, is level 2, which is really, really good. Well, my bad, he's level 1. He's really, really good. And he helps out with his deck. So they're unaffected by the effects of spells and traps. So you can get over a Magic Cylinder, you can get over a Storming Mirror Force, shoot, you can get over a freaking Regeki. And they are not destroyed. They would be unaffected as long as this card remains on the field. So if you have 2 of these women with a King of the Skull Servant instead of this, you're basically locked. You lock the field. They're going to be super hard to kill. And if your King of the Skull Servants are at least 11,000, that's going to be really, really hard to fight. Unless someone kaijus you. Well, there's many ways to get around that, but yeah. You'll just make your graveyard even stronger. But hey. Alright, and then the next cards we play. We play Gosukis, 3 of them. we play 3 Gozukis because during your main phase you can send 1 zombie type monster from your deck to the graveyard, and you could just send a White Prince, and then White Prince will pop his effect, and then you could just send that. Then you can probably special summon the King of the Skull Servants. It's really good. It's a good card. Next, I play 3 Mezukis. I play 3 Mezukis instead of the Gozukis. You always have to, because you could just they get rid of your materials. Hey, banish Mezuki from your graveyard. What do you do next? Special summon King of the Skull Servants. Really, really good, guys. And a lot of people give me this, but hey, it's my deck, so I play 3 Shira New Solitaires because he's a really good card in my opinion. What he does is you can just tribute himself, because you have to tribute 1 zombie type, but luckily he's a zombie type. You tribute him, special summon 1 zombie tuner with 0 defense, and well, yeah, and then special summon your tuner. Let me see. I think alright, and the tuner that, like I just said right now, that you will special summon is Unizombie. I play only 2 Unizombies because I have an extra deck monster. Maybe you guys might have Psy, but that extra deck monster really helps out. If your opponent has a lot of cards in their hand, you could just keep on just doing stuff to them, and then it just really messes them up. And Unizombie, you could just do his effect twice for his effect, and you could just keep on sending White Princes, and just if you have a King of the Skull Servant on the field, you just make him super, super big. And yeah. And now we're going to my one-ofs. So because you use your graveyard a lot, I use Fairy Tale Snow. I use Fairy Tale Snow because I can just banish whatever I want. The things I don't need, like my spells or my traps or other monsters, I'm not gonna need either way. And then you just get this guy, and hey, make his monster go face down. But yeah, Fairy Tale Snow, guys. Play a Kree Bandit. So like I told you, this is like almost like a turbo deck. Since it's 60 cards. It's like one of those decks that, like, okay, you look at the top 5, you get to pick 5. Oh, you have a Pot of Duality, you pick a Pot of Duality. Next, all the other cards were White Prince, or all the other cards were whites. You can just send them to the graveyard. Hey, you just make King of the Skull Servant stronger. So this is a deck that can actually boost them up, like, big time. Next, I play 1 Goblin Zombie. Goblin Zombie's effect is, when this card does battle damage to your opponent, you could just discard 1 random card from their hand and just send it to the graveyard. That's good because you're just making their hand smaller, but yeah. I got 1 Zombie Master, so you could just send 1 zombie monster from your hand to the graveyard, and then you could special summon 1 level 4 lower zombie monster from any player's graveyard. It'll work if I had Zombie World, but I don't run Zombie World in this deck. Just I don't run this for specific reasons. There's many ways that they can just get over it. That's just my opinion. 1 Samurai Skull, because you could just send a zombie from your deck to the graveyard or hand to the graveyard. You could just send a White Prince. Hey, you got another King of the Skull Servants. And a Dark Grepher. Why? Because most of everything is dark, and the only thing that you wouldn't be able to send is White Prince, because, well, White Prince is because she's a light, so yeah, that's about it. Alright, guys, so moving on to the spells. I play 3 Allure Darknesses. Yes, you're gonna banish you might have to banish some of your monsters, but hey, there's many ways you can pull them back. This is for draw power, so it's really, really good. I run 2 creature swaps. The reason why I run 2, no one suspects a creature swap. So I have a King of the Skull Servant with 17,000 attack. You have a monster that cannot be destroyed by battle or destroyed by card effect. So I'll be like, okay, and that's the only monsters you guys got. Creature swap. That's the only monster you got. That's the only monster I got. I give you my King of the Skull Servant. On your field, you will have no Skull Servants in your graveyard because that's my graveyard. So King of the Skull Servants is at 0, and I have your monster. And I'm not destroying. It is a really, really good card. A lot of people underestimate this card. It is really good in my opinion. There's many cards that can get over this. I think it's a really good card. I would run 3, but I don't want it to break as often, and it's already 60, so yeah. The number 1 card that I have pulled, and I think that's the most pricey when it actually came out, and it's my favorite card in the whole deck. I'm sorry, King of the Skull Servants, but Aggressive Screener. Why? Because that grass looks greener, right? Chris always talks about how this card is, why would they make a card? Because it says that grass looks greener, da 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 da. It's a really good card, guys, because you're running a 60 card deck, and if someone's running a 40 card deck, hey, there goes 20 cards down there, there goes 20 cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. And what if you have all the whites in there? 17k, guys, 17k. It's a really good card. Sucks that this card's at 1, but yeah. One pod duality, yes, you're not gonna be able to special summon, I understand, but hey, you can just normal summon the King of the Skull Servant. Forbidden Chalice, negate your opponent's monsters, or you could just negate your effect, but why would you do that? Probably of the week, it's a good card. If you have no cards in your hand, most likely you will not have any cards in your hand after this. But if you have no cards in your hand and you have a level 2 or lower zombie type monster, aka King of the Skull Servants, and destroys one of your opponent's monsters, you get to draw 2 cards. It's a good card. Good. One Dark Hole, because let's say you fill up your field with King of the Skull Servants and they fill up their field, Dark Hole, they can get nothing, but you can do so much out of it because you love the graveyard. This deck loves the graveyard, guys. Monster Reincarnation, discard a White Prince to add King of the Skull Servant. Yes, I know Monster Reborn is back. I don't personally want to play Monster Reborn because it's limited to 1. Yes, I only played 1 Reincarnation. I'm going to get a lot of comments about that, but hey, that's just how I play my deck. Hand Destruction, because you just like to discard your hand. You could probably send a White Prince. You Hand Destruction, send White Prince. You can draw 2 cards. Hey, you get 2 new things. I know I'm going to get a lot of crap for this, but they're like, oh, why don't you play 2 of these? Oh, why this and that? Okay, guys, it's my deck profile. Leave my deck profile alone. You guys can play, like I'm telling you guys can play Twin Twisters. You guys can play this, that. So, well, that was the card I was actually talking about. So, Twin Twisters. So, you could discard a card and you get to destroy 2 things on the field. 2 back row, field spell, etc., etc. That's fine, but I just don't want to play 2 of these because I don't. Yes, I do like costing a lot, but Twin Twisters is too expensive in my opinion. And then I run an MST. A lot of people are going to do that. Whoa, why do you MST? Oh, because MST negates field spells, guys. Field spells. You activate a field spell, MST it. It works. Book of Life, because it's good for zombies. You get to special summon 1 zombie from your graveyard. Then you get to remove from play 1 monster from your opponent's graveyard. It's good. It's good. Foolish Burial, because you want to send your White Prince. You want to send it whatever you want into Foolish Burials. But sometimes I always send my Mezuki, so I could just get something else out of that. Then I play 1 pot of Glyph, target 3 banished monsters, and return them into the deck, draw 1. It's good. You can just do that, and then you can just keep on bringing them out. Alright, guys, and now to the traps. I play 2 Storming Mirror Forces, because I just like to return their monsters back into the hand. Gives me a free opening if I just attack directly. Yeah, and then that's hard to get out. I play 1 negate attack, because if I just negate the attack and my monster King of the Skull Servants is at 17,000 attack, and your monster's at 3,000 and can just destroy my monster, I could just negate it, and then you'll be like, hey, oh no, like negate attack. It's such an old card, but it's such a good card. I play 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. I know Bottomless Trap Hole's at 3, but destroy and banish. It's fine. It's fine. It's a good tech card. Compulse, because you just want to return a monster back into your opponent's hand. Either face down or face up. It doesn't target, which is weird. Just to select. Yugioh should really fix their rulings about that. Don't you guys think? Alright, and then I play Accumulated Fortune, because you don't know if your opponent's going to be able to chain a lot of stuff, and this gives you draw power. So you only activate on Chain Link 4. Yes, it's really rare, but yeah. Graceful Revival, because that's basically a Call of the Haunted, which I also play 1 Call of the Haunted. This is basically a Call of the Haunted, and you can just target 1 King of the Skull Servant. It actually has a picture of King of the Skull Servants getting up, and that's about it. And you know, guys, when what Call of the Haunted does, target 1 monster in your graveyard, special summon an attack, and hey, that's good. So, yeah. And then now that was my main deck. So my extra deck is I play 1 X-Saber Ribblum. You just need 1 tuner. He's level 7, and when he does battle damage to your opponent, you get to discard 1. You get to randomly pick 1 card from your opponent's hand and place it on top of the deck. Yeah.